Oh, hello there, and welcome back to Shiki. Today, I wanted to give you my thoughts and opinions on Indigo as an album and let you know what I think. I just finished listening to number two, meaning I have listened to every single song in this album, so I couldn't do that yesterday because when the album dropped, I woke up around 2 hours late and then I started listening to everything up until Wildflower, and then the day just went super hectic and I didn't want to just get, be done and over with it. So today, I finished it, and I just want to congratulate Kim Namjoon first of all. Absolutely incredible album. This album is full of Namjoon, of course, but I find it so interesting that he's able to intertwine himself with nature and art, two of the things that he loves so much. It's all over this album, and I wanted to talk about the collaborators. I wanted to give a huge props to everyone that was featured on this album. None of them felt out of place at all. There's a lot of cases where a collaboration can kind of backfire, where the person who's featuring ends up overshadowing the actual artist, or is in some cases it just doesn't feel in place. None of that happened here with Indigo. I think every single person that he wanted to work with, it just came out to perfection. So Erica Badu, Anderson Paak, Tableau, Kim Sawol, Paul Blanco, Mahalia, Cold, and Eugene. Huge props to all of you. Park Yi Jun as well. Sorry, Park Ji Yoon as well. Huge props. Namjoon has this ability to literally make you think. His songs are staying here and here even after you're done listening to them. He has an actual effect on me and my perspective of life and things in general. And most of all, he makes me feel like the things that I sometimes feel, I'm not the only one feeling that way. He's like the things that he's writing about, they're so relatable. This is Kim Namjoon, and the courage to be able to put himself out there the way that he does is just extremely commendable. But I wanted to talk about Yoon, Still Life, and All Day. Those three songs, they felt like they were kind of a chapter in this book, which would be Indigo. I feel like they talk about, the effect of today's society, the identity crisis, um, and kind of being pushed to live in a certain way or act in a certain way, and then in Still Life and All Day, it it's like watching Namjoon's growth with every single track that you listen to, because in Still Life they talk about, every day is day number one. You're gonna continue. We're gonna bloom and basically not be locked into a certain canvas or box or frame. Basically, referencing Wildflower. Being an open field, you can do what you want to do. You can be yourself. And then All Day they also talk about. I think it's like a lot of references to um, just. I think All Day was very very inspirational, telling you not to give up, continue um, going, continue doing your best, believing and dreaming, because in the day and age that we live in today, I think I think a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling with these things in general. But then you get forgetful. Now, I think this is so incredibly clever, forgetful, because even the title of the name, the title of the song, is missing an E. Forgetful, missing an E. That was still very, like, I was like, okay, it's a small detail, but it's so clever. And then um, you had some beautiful harmony with Kim Sawol. But the thing is, this was an acoustic song where Namjoon is singing acoustically. I was like, I'm blown away. He is singing so well. I love Forgetful. I love every single song here, but Forgetful, I did not expect ever. Now, Namjoon is out there exploring. He's out there doing things, and it kind of brings me back to the Will Ferrell interview where he didn't want to be locked up, you know, um, into a certain way. And I'm so glad to see his growth and the confidence to be able to do these different things, and he's doing it so incredibly well. Forgetful as a song itself, hit me deeply in my heart because I can relate to that, especially this year, what I've been dealing with. I was like, wow, you know, even now it gives me goosebumps when I think about it. And then you go on to Closer. Oh my God, Closer. Kim Namjoon with the Closer. Very seductive, um, romantic song. Very, I was all smiles. When I was listening to Closer, I was all smiles. Paul Blanco, incredible. Mahalia, incredible. Kim Namjoon, absolute excellence. I was like, whoa. I wasn't expecting to get that sweet romantic song in there. I was like, ooh, sheesh, that was incredible. But then Change Part Two, Change Part Two compared to Part One is such a contrast that, I was shocked. Change Part Two is literally where the album changes. It shifts. The album shifts from Change Part Two, and you can tell it in the instrumentals. The song itself, within the song, it starts with a certain beat and it ends with a different beat. So there's change within the song itself, but he's talking about how his growth, the Wikipedia, all the things that he's being held to, that's been done in the past. He's talking about the interviews. It's a very raw song, but it's such a difference compared to the first one, which was way more optimistic and hopeful. This time, he's like, people change, you know, and it's just for me. I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa, Namjoon, like how what's just to have the creativity to think of these things, I think was incredible. Lonely lonely is a song that also hits very deeply, like most of his songs in general, really. But lonely, it's not easy, but when he's describing how he's feeling in lonely, how he feels like he's stuck on a certain, like an island, and he just wants to go home, how everything is kind of foreign to him, and he doesn't feel, can't recognize his surroundings. I just got this picture of Namjoon in this single room hotel, um, and basically just feeling this way. And I'm like, the emotions are so heavy throughout this whole album. But in Lola, I was like, oh, God, you know. I'm speaking, but as I'm thinking about the lyrics, I'm telling you, I'm getting goosebumps. Hectic with cold. Felt like Tokyo or Seoul. It felt like it was describing the repetitiveness, the kind of automation. I think, or the blah, 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 sorry, trying to say too much, but like the robotic cycle that we as humans can fall into on an everyday basis, and also talks about the things that you love. Um, and I think it's his songs are so eye opening. They literally broaden your view, whether it's uh, about identity, humans, society, no matter what it is. He has that magic. But I was really surprised throughout this. I'm like, wow, how is he doing this? Can you imagine how difficult it is to write music like this? You know, um, just writing a simple. If I'm like, okay, go write a song, being able to write songs with the complexity that Namjoon does is just, I'm just happy that I'm here during this time. I can say that I was here when Namjoon dropped this song. And then there's Wildflower. Wildflower is a song. Honestly, I will tell you this completely, coming from my heart. It's been on my mind since yesterday when I heard it. It's been on my mind and I can't get it out of my head. And I'm happy. I mean, it's not something I want to get out of my head, but I'm saying the impact that song had on me from start to finish, on my heart, on me, and just like I've been digesting it. It is an incredibly beautiful song. Once again, talking about Namjoon's, um his emotions, his feelings, about what he's dealt with, fame, who he is, who he actually is, how he felt at one point in his life, and what happened with those thoughts, and what he would like to do, and just making a lot of references. I feel like he's throughout this album, he's been exploring that, and basically giving us a dive into his mind, and his emotions of um, his ocean of emotions, basically. And Eugene, you can definitely feel that raw emotional, I don't know, desperation, or that longing, um, in her parts. Just like in Closer, there's a lot of longing there as well, but it's different. Now we go to number two that I heard. Number two to me felt like a message to everybody, but most of all, it felt like a message to himself. And this is what I meant with like having different chapters in this album. Number two felt like it was a message to himself, like Namjoon, it's time to stop looking back and move forward. It's giving me goosebumps because, if you go from start to finish with Yoon Still Laughing All Day, just like I said, and then you got Forgetful, and then you got Closer, Change, Lonely, um, and then you finish it out with Hectic, Wildflower, and number two. There's chapters within this book, and I feel like he did that on purpose. Um, but yeah, when he's talking about how it's time, like you can tell he's talking about the past throughout this whole album. I feel like he is this is he's speaking to himself as well. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But yeah, so listening to everything that he's been talking about, I feel like you're witnessing Namjoon just kind of let go at the end and put that behind him, and look forward. And it's something that he's telling himself. Um, I can't state enough just how I felt after watching it, because you're realizing why he wanted you to listen to it in order, because it's a story. Excuse me again. But yeah, like I said, it's a story. And throughout the album, it talks a lot about his humanity, his identity, um, how Kim Namjoon has dealt with everything that RM has achieved. And also, there's digs in there, because he said, I loved you once, um, loved you twice, fool me once, fool me twice. He talked about, you'll never find someone that loved you like I did. Now, I think throughout these years, Namjoon has, I think he's realized a lot about himself, about society, about humanity, about the music industry, and he has put it in here in such a beautiful way, really. But the thing is, the whole album is so peaceful. It's so healing. It's tranquil and relaxing. It makes you think. And honestly, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. He's done absolutely amazing. Um, he's dealt with so much throughout the years, and it's not something that I could ever try to even understand. But you can tell just how much this means to him. And yeah, that's why I wanted to say congratulations, Kim Namjoon. You've done absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and stay safe. I'll see you.